Welcome to A Laugh and Learn, Understanding Our Personal Baseline. This is part 2, and I am joined by medium Betsy Palmer. Hello,
Aloha,
Betsy.
everybody. Aloha, Gerald. Good to see you
Hello.
this morning, sir.
It's
Mm.
wonderful to share space with you. For those of you who do not know me, I am TarotStache. Thank you for being here. Please do that thing where you are liking and subscribing. All of our channel links are below. I have had a couple of people reach out to me and say, I was unsubscribed to your channel. Well, okay. Thank you for resubscribing. That's cool. And so Betsy, what's new? What's exciting? What's the same? How are you?
I am doing pretty good. Thank you, sir. I am finding myself surprisingly peaceful these days and curious and not stressing. Yeah, so I'll take it.
I love that.
How about you?
I'm doing well. Started Glimmer Globe, and I've been having. I was always worried about trying to get that started. However, once I'm just like, don't overthink it, dude. And Jeffrey and I had a lovely weekend with my family, and then on Sunday we spent some time with friends, supporting each other in this world where there's lots of crazy stuff going on. And I have a dog sitting near me in front of the heater because she's cold, and there's lots of things that are going on, and I'm okay with that. So how was that for a ramble?
There are, but that really sums it up. There are lots of things going on.
Cheers.
Sip, sip. There are lots of things. And I've had pretty much the same conversation with different friends over and over again, that we're all in this processing mode. Everybody's trying to find their footing. My sensitive friends are all kind of reporting feeling not as close knit with their spiritual team right now, that not in constant communication, constant contact, that it's a little bit more needing to really sit down and intentionally request the presence to move closer and to communicate. It's kind of interesting. So it's a bit like a 3D focus is important right now.
Yes.
And yet not getting pulled into it completely. Yeah, it's interesting times.
Yeah. Betsy and I backstage, we were chatting a little bit about part 1, which went really very well. Link is below. And one of the things that I have been noticing, and I've been having conversations with people, I've been having various conversations with people about our baseline, but I haven't necessarily for using the word baseline for non, tarot tube people. But a lot of people are finding that what used to work for them isn't working for them anymore. And I've positioned myself, Betsy, to ask the question, why do you think that is? And these people I've been very fortunate. People are pausing and they're going, I guess I'm not the same as I was before. And I am like going, kudos to you. There's a lot of power in that statement.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm curious, those of you who are watching, are you finding the need to communicate or you're having to work harder at connecting with your spiritual team? And why do you think that is? So we do, by the way, have some of the best chatters who are here. Madame Maru was here and put in the part 1. Joanne Mayhew is here. Jonathan Daly. Jenny Berlin. Plucky Heroine. Russ Bob's Barbara is here. We have Purple Elephant Deb H. And case your ears were burning, Deb, I had mentioned a topic that you had mentioned to me, and I said, "Oh, I think that'd be a great show." And Betsy's like going, "Yes." So, anyhow, stay tuned, everybody. Jacob is here. Hi, Jacob. Jean Kavanaugh, Linda Kelzer, Lynn. Welcome, Lynn. Kaylee from Fogo Pogo. Jonathan is putting up the Get Your TarotStache mug there. Thank you.
They're super cute.
They really are. They're freaking cute. So, and
Mine's pink.
yeah, your mine. I have this color and I have a blue one because I wanted them all. Delphi is here. Hi, Delphi. Kaylee said, I'm honestly becoming more sensitive and having to tube and protect when I didn't used to have to.
Maybe you've needed to do that all along. I've started doing it more too. And I'm thinking, maybe I should have been doing this all along.
Yes. But, I will say to that, but now you're doing it. And
but now you're doing it. And just right on time, right?
Yes.
Just right on schedule.
Yes. Jonathan shared, I haven't been slinging cards lately for sure, but I'm also not feeling any anxiety about it either. That's good.
He deserved a break.
Yes.
He did one for the team a couple of weeks ago.
Yes. Zane is here. Hi, Zane. Hi. Good to see you. And Kaylee added, she said, example, I went out to dinner with a friend a few weeks ago and would never have thought to tube ahead of time. So I went for dinner and then ended up coming home about 3 hours later, became violently ill. Thanks, physical empathy. Next time I'll know I need to tube. And by the way, the idea of tubing is there's a process that she has learned about keeping yourself in a protected layer. And we've talked about that, Betsy, in our grounding and protection videos.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad you learned that. I'm sorry that you were physically ill.
I had a bout of food poisoning a couple of weeks ago, and it took me a week to get over it.
Oof, wow.
Rough, man. Rough. Yeah.
So I love the idea of oh, that's interesting on tubing. Kaylee, I know I think have I done that with Tanis from Twillo Lifestyle Community. Mm-hmm. That's where I've done it. We may have done that, but it's something that's taught. And I can actually feel Betsy, you and I may want to touch base again about some of the grounding and protection stuff to help people, because there are some new people who are watching and people who may need a nice reminder. So what we're going to do, well, okay. What's personal baseline? Can we summarize what we did last time in just a few sentences?
Yeah, if I can remember what I said.
Well, okay. See, here's the thing, because I took a lot of notes. Do you want me to give it a try?
That would be awesome. I would appreciate that.
The reason it is important to understand your baseline is because it gives you a place to begin, gives you something to notice, and it helps you to feel that it is okay to be exactly who you are. It is also about diffusing fear and understanding the internal landscape that is uniquely yours. And I'm getting emotional about that because everyone, if everybody understands they have a personal landscape and it's perfect for them, and other people have their personal landscape and it's perfect for them, we're going to really, it feels to me like we're going to We're going to appreciate other people's perspectives. I'm going to allow you to be in your space. I'm going to be in my space, and maybe those spaces will cross over a little bit. And so that's there. The baseline is you. I have that written down. I have it underlined. The baseline is you, who
It
you
is you.
authentically
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, it is you.
Yeah. So, um, so how's that? Did we miss anything?
Yeah, let me see if I can rattle my brain and see if there's anything I wanted to say. Why is it important? Um, as a sensitive person, we pick up so much from the
Mm-hmm.
exterior, what's going on around us, different groups, different functions, certain people, whatever. We pick up a lot of stuff. We're aware of it, we sense it, and sometimes we pick it up. We don't have to pick it up, but sometimes we do. And so understanding that which belongs to you and that which doesn't is really helpful for me. Um, Deb says it's your mojo. Yes, it's our mojo. We'll just call it
I
our
like that.
mojo from now on. Thank you, Deb. Um, but being a sensitive person, and depending on what your clairs are, like for clairaudience, clairsentience, we can be feeling or hearing something and not understanding who it is, what it is, where this is coming from. And it can be confusing and can be anxiety inducing and can make you feel off center. Is this normal? What's happening to me? Why is this happening to me?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, this grounding and centering business, which we have dubbed the baseline for our purposes, helps me to understand what exactly does belong to me and how I feel when I am in touch with my very core and where my human Betsy is connecting to my soul and or higher consciousness. That is a spot for me that's really important and is really helpful. It may not be for everybody, but it is for me, and so that's why we're sharing this.
So nicely done. Nice. No, that's great. I think I think it goes back to that idea of what belongs to me is a really key thing, because especially for empaths, and readers and all of that stuff, it's echo. Is this mine? That's sort of the first question to ask. But you can ask that question, but if you don't know how you communicate back to yourself, or your team communicates back to you, there can be a bit of confusion.
Yeah. And I know there's times when I'm in a spot and I ask, is this mine? Sometimes I want the answer to be no.
But it's yes, isn't it?
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So sometimes it's easier to think it's outside of us than we own it. So, but
Yeah.
being honest about it and deciding what works for you. Do we need to work on this? Do we need to heal something? Do we need to transform something? So, yeah, but that's what the inner journey is all about now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think I'll be watching this conversation. I had a reading land in my lap. Oh, well, good.
Hi.
And speaking of which, both of us do private readings. Betsy's links are below. My links are below. And I don't have a lot of people reach out to me for readings, and I'm not sure why. So I'm curious about that. But anyhow,
Yeah, mine all come from Yelp and Google.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I like this idea of being honest with ourselves. Oh, look, we have the thumbs up. There we go. Woo!
God, I love it. Never gets old.
So, thank you, Kaylee. Kaylee says I do amazing readings. So, Betsy, you have facilitated workshops to help people understand how they are gifted and what that looks like for them in a
Hmm.
very supportive and way. And one of the things that you talked about last time was a meditation that you do.
Yes.
So, are you ready to do that meditation
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. We
Okay.
thought we would walk everybody through it. So just as so you can experience what I'm yammering about and to see maybe it's helpful for you. Maybe there's some kind of awareness that comes through with that. So,
Yes.
and it's not really long. It's not like we're going to be here for 45 minutes. It goes pretty quick.
And so if you're able to do this, you're not driving, you're not at work or anything like that. So, um, but it's all good. So, um, and I'm making a note that this starts at 16:20. So
There we go.
would you like to be embiggened?
No, not
Okay.
necessarily.
Okay.
And so this is really simple, guys. Everybody just be in a comfortable position. There's not a lot of rules about this. Your feet and hands don't have to be in any particular position or location. Feet flat on the floor can be helpful to connect to Mother Earth. If not, like I'm long sitting in bed, I'm just going to put myself there anyway. Um, there's no rules about anything with body positioning. Be comfortable. Um, and so we're just going to begin with closing eyes and taking a few clearing breaths. And that is whatever it looks like to you. Peaceful breaths, cleansing breaths, clearing breaths, insert name here, whatever works to just help you to just kind of slow down. So let's all just close eyes and just take a few nice, peace inspiring breaths. Whatever that looks like for you. And as you sense your nervous system slowing down, let's turn your attention to the heart. We will all be focusing on our heart space, our fourth chakra, the seat of love, the place where our soul resides within us. And as you become more aware of what that space feels like, notice a bright white light glowing there. As you train your awareness on that light, it begins to expand, pushing out, filling your chest and your torso and all extremities, pushing white light through every cell of your body until you are head to toes to fingertips filled with bright white light. Very good. Now let's notice what that feels like in your body, that white light, as it moves through your body systems. It may feel like a buzzing. It may feel like a current running, water running, raindrops, musical notes, different colors, different sensations. Just notice what that movement feels like inside of you. We're going to use this energy first to ground ourselves to Mother Earth. And what we'll be doing is pushing that energy through the soles of our feet down to the core of the earth. So imagine, if you will, gathering up some of that energy. Take a nice deep breath in and out, pushing that energy down deep, deep, deep through all the different layers of the earth to the very core. Mother Earth hears our call and answers us. sending her unconditional love back to us through the soles of our feet, rising up past our ankles, rising higher to our knees and higher to our hips, begins to fill our torsos, rising up through our bellies, past our diaphragm, filling our lungs, rising up to our shoulders, spilling down our arms, past our elbows to our fingertips, rising up through our throats, past our jawline to the tops of our head. Very good. We're going to do that 2 more times. So once again, gather up some of that energy. Take a nice deep breath in and out, sending our energy again back down to Mother Earth, who once again rises up to meet us with her unconditional love, rising up past our ankles, rising up our legs more swiftly to our hips, filling our bellies, passing our diaphragm, filling our lungs to our shoulders, spills down our arms to our fingertips, rising up through our throats, past our jaw to the top of our head. And one more time, take a nice deep breath in and out, pushing that energy once again down to Mother Earth, asking her to join with us. And she sends her unconditional love back to us, again through the soles of our feet, rising up our legs to our knees, rising higher to our hips, filling our bellies, passing our diaphragm, filling our lungs to our shoulders, spilling down our arms to our fingertips, rising up through our throats, past our jawline to the top of our head. We now feel an unbroken connection to Mother Earth. We breathe her in, and she shares our breath. We take a moment to thank her. And now we prepare to reach out to Father Sky up in the heavens. With the same technique, we'll gather energy, this time pushing it up through our crown chakra at the top of our head to Father Sky up in the heavens. So once again, imagine, if you will, gathering up some of that energy and taking a nice deep breath in and out, pushing that energy up high into the heavens, calling out to Father Sky. He hears our call and he answers us, sending down his wisdom and patience to us through the tops of our head, passing our jawline, begins the journey down our spine, filling our throats to our shoulders, spills down our arms, past our elbows to our fingertips, continues down our spine, passing our shoulder blades as it fills our lungs to our diaphragm, fills our bellies down to our tailbone and hips, continues down our legs, past our knees to our ankles and the tips of our toes. Very good. We'll do that 2 more times. So once again, take a nice deep breath in and out, sending that light to Father Sky, who again hears our call, sending his wisdom and patience to us through the tops of our head, down past our jawline to our throats, journeying down our spine as it spills down our arms, past our elbows to fingertips, continuing now down as it fills our lungs to our diaphragm, filling our bellies to our tailbone and hips, down our legs, past our knees to our ankles and the tips of our toes. And one more time, gather up some of that energy, take a nice deep breath in and out, sending that energy up to Father Sky one more time. Again, he answers us, sending his wisdom and patience down to us through the tops of our head, past our jawline, fills our throats to our shoulders, spills down our arms, past our elbows to our fingertips, continues the journey down our spine, filling our lungs, passing our diaphragm to our tailbone and hips, down to our legs, to our knees and ankles and the tips of our toes. We now feel an unbroken connection with Father Sky. We breathe him in, and he shares our breath as he reunites with Mother Earth within us in a perfect balanced harmony. And I say my clearing prayer of Mother Goddess, Father God, we thank you for your presence with us now as you are with us always. We demand that any unhelpful energies or attachments around us be now escorted to the light and their highest good. We ask that any teachers or guides that come to share their wisdom with us do so now in the beauty way only. I believe and trust in the truth and power of this moment, and so it is. And from this space, I acknowledge all that I am. I recognize myself. I'm experiencing my true self. I notice how I feel, the emotions that rise, the thoughts that support me, the energies that support me. I hope that you find peace and comfort in this space as I do, and know that you are free to return to this space any moment you wish. This is available for you and for me and for all of us at any time. And with knowing this new truth, we return now to our broadcast, peaceful, tranquil, gifted, and happy. And so it is.
What would it be? Wow.
So that is my little baseline ritual, ceremony,
Mhm.
prayer. I do this before every client. I do this on my own. And don't ask me how my phone turned back on, because I very clearly turned it off before we began. And it turned itself back on.
It's a lot of power.
Yeah, I was thinking there kind of near the end. Oh, this is really kicking in. I can really feel the collective here. And
Mhm.
then the phone chimed. So
There you go. Linda said beautiful, love it. And Jenny said beautiful, Betsy.
yes. So yeah, anybody feel free to share any experiences or awarenesses that you may have had. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
oh, thank you, Nalani. Um,
Yeah.
to me, that place is a sanctuary, kind of like they tell you your home should be a sanctuary, or you should have this private place you can go to feel at peace and have privacy. That to me is kind of that place too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So hang
And
on.
so that baseline for me, again, is the place where I am in more or less direct communication with my true self, my higher self, and my guides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jenny said my home is heart or love.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
And please, anybody that would like to add something, did anybody discover something there? It's interesting that the chat's gone quiet, and I'm hoping it's because everybody is ohmed out. Namaste.
Yeah. Everybody. Well,
Namaste.
I found it really interesting for me because I sound is important to me. And so as we were sending energy into Mother Earth, the sound that I got, and this is just me, is the sound of a sewing machine. And then the sound that I got with moving the energy to Father Sky was steam.
Oh,
And so it was interesting because when they were both at the same time, it worked very nicely together. So,
I'm seeing an old-fashioned steam locomotive now.
well, yes. So, but it was interesting because for me that will help me um feel who might be communicating with me.
Mhm.
If I get that sewing machine sound, okay, I know this is Mother Earth, and if I feel or hear steam, that's Father Sky. So
I like that. I
yeah.
really like that.
So and
Um,
Linda said I felt very light pulses of energy moving up and down.
Excellent. That's beautiful.
Yeah, we are in our zen.
Yeah, that's cool to hear.
Yeah.
Um, I love starting sessions like that because I think it's unexpected for people, and especially with when someone I've never met before comes for an appointment, people are nervous. They don't know what's going to happen, and this is
Mhm.
just kind of an interesting way to kind of shift focus.
Well, it brings them into the present,
Yeah.
and
And
I think that's really important.
it helps that nervous system kind of settle down a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, again, while this is really helpful doing session work for me, this is also where I like to go when I feel I need protection, when I feel like I need to communicate with my guides. It is my all purpose, one size fits all metaphysical, spiritual place to go.
Hmm.
Number one referral place to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's one of these things that I would this is the first time I've done this with Betsy in person. Would you say that it can your experience with it, if somebody were to do this more, will grow and evolve? Will
Oh,
it? Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I told Gerald backstage when I first started doing public session work, um, I I didn't do a clearing prayer, and then I recognized that it would, if nothing else, help me relax so I could
Hmm.
connect more easily.
Sure.
Um, and then I noticed that it helped everybody else relax. And then I noticed that I can sense if there's something that needs to be banished before it becomes involved in a conversation. I can be more aware of what beings are around. I can get communication quickly. And I always did it just like we did today with rounds of three. And as time went by and I became more attuned to it, now for me, I only require round of one to Mother Earth,
Hmm.
one to Father Sky. So yes, I do believe just like a skill, the muscles learn how to perform, and we can get back
Exactly.
there.
Exactly. So when somebody does this and they get used to this, what suggestions do you have for them going about their day? Because we've altered ourselves, we've centered ourselves, we've grounded ourselves, we've become very aware. Do you have any advice for people on that front?
Yeah, I declare what my intention is for the day.
Hmm.
And I ask guides that I'm in tune with at the time to assist me on meeting these goals of my intentions. So the majority of the time, my number one intention is it's kind of like the old saying, dear, going out the door, dear God, please keep your arm around my shoulder and your hand over my mouth. Usually it's me keeping myself in check. It's I
Okay.
ask permission for my guides to walk with me and help me to display the person that I would choose to be at my best.
Oh, that's good. I like it. I like that. Yeah.
Um, I also have at this time I'm requesting Michael, Archangel Michael, to come in to keep watch for any attractions, attachments, um, parasites, or any beings that may be attracted to an unhelpful thought I may be creating, and to
Mm-hmm.
banish them, because I
Okay.
know, as someone with a lot of anxiety, I can think some stuff, I can tell some stories, and the types of beings that are attracted to those stories, not necessarily the most helpful. So I've been asking Michael every day to help me with that. I've also been, once I asked Michael to create the boundary, and I have my egg of protection. I like the energy egg. Then
Mm-hmm.
I have been lately asking Saint Germain to fill that egg with the violet flame.
Okay.
Love, compassion, kindness, protection, healing, all that stuff. And I ask all of these guides to join with me throughout my entire day. I do have conversations with Mother Earth about wrapping. I ask her to wrap her roots and vines around me and go with me the
Mm-hmm.
entire day. I ask Father Sky to keep that light running through me, which is my version of tubing, because when I sense Father Sky responding, in addition to the wisdom and patience, it is clear white light that scans through the whole body for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that is what I do, and what I've been trying to do daily. Now I haven't quite gotten there daily before I go out the door, but it's improving.
Well, yes, and I think that is an important aspect of it is do it. And if you don't do it a day, don't beat yourself up and not do it
Yeah.
on the new day.
But if you're wondering why you're not getting results, did you do it?
Did you do it? Yeah. I
That's
mean,
me. Wait, did I do it? Oh, that, yeah.
did I do it?
Wait a minute.
And I would say if you didn't do it, then you can do it right then.
There's
You know.
never a wrong time to do it, guys. Never. And the beauty of
Yes.
it is you can do it standing in line at the DMV. You can do it
Mm-hmm.
standing in line at KFC. You can do it on hold on the phone. You can check out for a moment when somebody's talking at you, you know. You don't have to find a sacred space. You don't have to
Yes.
do any kind of ritual of preparation. Close your eyes, take some breaths, ask for help.
Yes. And I am also under the belief that when you do that and there are people around you, they're going to get the benefit from that as well because the energy shifts. The
Or it'll
energy
chase
flow
them
is very
away.
different. Yeah. Or you chase them away.
It'll
Yes.
chase them away too. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupt.
No, Linda shared that meditation would work beautifully with PTSD or other types of dysregulation. I
Cool.
can see that. And
I think it's on my YouTube channel in a couple of places. I know I haven't
yeah,
my walkthrough, my workbook, and I think I just have a grounding and centering ceremony. It's been a few years since I've done it, and I don't rewatch it because cringe-worthy factor. So,
yeah,
but it's there.
yeah, yeah. So understanding this, doing this understanding and seeing the inner landscape, it gives us an opportunity to, I think for me, it gives me the opportunity to, okay, here's the lay of the land. Here's what's going on. If there's something in there that I no longer want, it gives me the opportunity to find out where it is. I can, you know, for entertainment purposes only sort of thing. I can get some assistance to clear that out. I think it's a really powerful way of noticing where you are.
Yeah.
So
And when you're noticing the energy moving through you, is there a stuck spot? Is there something there? And if there is, just questioning, you know, what is this and why are you here? What are you here to teach me? What is it I need to be aware of? What's going on, without judging and blaming that, oh,
yeah,
I shouldn't have a black spot in my kidneys. No, be gentle, say, kidneys, what are you trying to teach me? How can I help? What's going on? Um, not always the easiest thing to do, right? Not always easy to have those awarenesses, but hey, give it a try.
And I think that that awareness is because I am a believer is if you can name something, then you can control it.
Oh,
And part of naming it, like you said, oh, what are you trying to tell me? You click into that listening mode and seeking to understand. It's like, oh, okay, I know what this is, how this is appearing. I also know how this is manifesting in my everyday life. So, but yeah.
and they're suddenly reminding me that I haven't talked about love soup yet. So when I'm in that space, I describe it as love soup. And I remember I had very clear imaging early on where it was like a big bowl of soup, and I was like kind of just paddling around in it, with all the vegetables and goodies that were in there, and just
Mm-hmm.
simmering in that warm deliciousness. And that sensation for me is probably one of the driving forces that keeps me interested in going there, because it feels so good to be there, to uh, in that centered space, heart connected to the higher consciousness, soul, whatever you want. It just seems to me like, and it's probably just a glimmer's worth of what that unconditional love that we hear about all the time. It's probably
Yeah.
just a sliver that is an amount I can take in without imploding or whatever, spontaneously combusting. Um, but that is so rewarding for me, because it's my continual reminder that there's more to me than just the earth me. There's more to me
Mm-hmm.
than the three-dimensional stuff, all this other stuff going on. This is temporary, and the truth is that I will always be here. I will always be that. I'm always connected. And it's really up to me to understand how important it is to come back to that.
I love that. I love that. Lalani has asked, can you name it without giving it power? Yes, because I actually think when you name something, you then suddenly draw back the power that you don't want it to have. So if that makes sense to you, Nalani, what do you think,
And
Betsy?
naming it gives limits it. So, if it's just this omnipotent thing, like all encompassing, woo, what is that? Name it limits it.
That's so true, and because that's then what we're doing is yeah, you can't fix it without something you don't acknowledge, correct? But I would also have to say, Betsy, is that we have a tendency, I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to limit myself and my abilities. This type of exercise and getting into and connecting removes those limitations because it just puts me exactly where I am, and it's without judgment. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah. You're just being. You're
Yeah.
just accepting that you're being this. I am being this right now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
without expectations of going somewhere, doing something. Um, it's just being in that space. I know we were talking about the prayers and all the tools and skills that you can bring in with the prayers, but this is different. When you're in that space, you're just acknowledging being there. And
Mm-hmm.
there's no hurry to move on. There's nothing new to discover. It's just a moment of acceptance of this is me.
Yes. And I think there is a lot of power in that because this is a great self-awareness tool. Because if some days it's easier to get into this connected state, great. You notice that. And some days it's more challenging. Great. You notice that it helps you understand your baseline of the day. Not just overall, but I'm going to have to work extra hard to slow down and to listen to people today. Is and knowing that you have the ability to do something differently. So, but yeah.
And I like that I know I can go there anytime I choose to. That there doesn't have to be a reason, there doesn't have to be a situation, there doesn't have to be effort involved, there doesn't have to be travel involved. Just knowing if I'm not feeling all that great, or if I just feel like I want to commune in that space, I can go there whenever I feel like it.
Yeah. I think that's a really important, because it's who we are authentically, without judgment. And it's like, that's where we are. And if I need to feel that safe and unconditional love, or that love soup, as you call it, sometimes, well, when you're feeling off, I don't know about you, but I really like some good soup to help me.
Comfort.
So, because it helps to heal. And I think that I love the idea of this is your love soup, and connect with it.
Yeah.
Have a big bowl of it.
It is like that spiritual chicken soup kind of thing, right? It is like, find when you need comfort, there it is. It's there.
Yes.
Can I do it all the time? No. I mean, there's times when I'm in a twirl, and I'm in a twirl, but accepting that too, and knowing that it's temporary, right? I've started, when I'm feeling hopelessly twirling or anxiety induced panic of whatever mode, I've found myself starting to say, I know this is temporary. I don't have the answer yet, but I'm looking forward to understanding the person I'll be on the other side of this.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Care Bear Bard of Cards is here. Good to see you, Care Bear. So this has been part 2 of talking about our personal baseline. Does anyone watching have questions for Betsy or me? And then, do you have any thoughts or reminders for people, Betsy?
Thoughts and reminders: be gentle with yourself. We're coming into the holidays. There's a lot of questions out there in the world. Yes. Sip, sip.
Yeah.
I find myself coming back to something a college instructor said, kind of offhanded. I think she was so accustomed to it, it just really was just like a toss off to her, but it's made so much difference in my life. She said, be curious, not furious. People surprise us every day.
Be curious, not furious. People surprise us every day. And guess what? Your people.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There's no such thing as hopelessness, and there's no such thing as the right or wrong path. Oh, why are you bringing that up? Oh God. Okay, they're telling me if they're just telling me, if you know someone that is mired with addiction, to not label it or judge it as a wrong life choice, to remember that that being came into this lifetime to understand what submersing themselves in these issues really feels like, to where that's all encompassing. They're going to stay in it. They're not going to be getting out of it. They need to experience a lifetime within this altered state. And that there's probably a lot of unexposed emotional components to that cycle, and that this is the perfect situation for their learning, and to not judge it as bad or wrong, to try to see it as they are experiencing what they needed to learn, what they needed to know. Sorry, it's a hard one. It's the holidays. I don't know. People getting together with family members can be tough, but
It really can be tough, and people make their own choices. And before you go into these events with family, understand your baseline. Do this exercise, do whatever meditation, prayer, intention setting, cleansing, grounding. It'll you
Shielding.
shielding, tubing, whatever, and do it regularly. You can do it several times at different events, because this is an emotional time of the year. It's and it's confusing,
Mm.
and yeah, we're in the darker part of the year, but boy, it's like there's not a lot of light. So, but
And to remember, we have the luxury in our modern world of having time to worry about ourselves and our anxieties and our
yeah,
neuroses, when it wasn't that long ago when just making it through with a day was a success. People had a lot on their plates, and a lot of people still do. That there's not everyone has the luxury of having the time and wherewithal to be able to examine these things. So, this is really like a new edge line for humanity to be looking at this stuff to try.
mhm,
Well, not new for everybody, but in many, many urban settings, to trying to return to an ancient spirituality, knowing that many cultures from ancient times lived their lives in touch with spirit, as well as um, just taking care of themselves from day to day.
yes,
So it's an interesting time to be playing around with this stuff.
yeah. You're right. And here in the United States, or in Western culture, we we don't grow up with that, taking the time to meditate and to learn who we are and experiencing our personal baseline. We don't do that regularly. Well, let me rephrase that. I didn't do that growing up. I
Yeah,
don't know if you all did, and if you did, congratulations. I'm curious as how it helps you. But yeah, you're so right. So I would encourage everybody to remember to be gentle with yourself. That's a big, big thing, because there's so much weight. If we are weighing ourselves down with extra stuff, we can't do the basics that we can do and that we can do pretty well. So, yeah. Betsy, thank you.
my
So,
pleasure. And nobody's got any questions. This is really interesting. This
yeah.
is really
So,
interesting. If you
but
have any questions, pop them in now.
and
But
now, yes.
yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this chat. I know I did.
Yes, I did too. This was great, and I thank you for being willing to spend time, and uh, in all of the hurly burly of daily life. I think that that whole thing was probably about 10 minutes at most
And
to
that
do
was the
that.
long version.
And so, if you can't do 10 minutes, but you can do a minute of it, do a minute of it.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
self-love, self-care, yes.
Absolutely.
Yep. And thank you for reminding me to breathe, taking those deep breaths at the beginning. I got full body chills, never realized how much tension I was holding, not breathing properly.
You and me both.
Yeah, all three of us.
I can walk around, hold my breath for 3 minutes sometimes. Just
Yeah.
like,
Well, and for me, it was very interesting, because I don't know about you, but I have to remember when I start to relax, I have to remove my shoulders from my ears. And I'm like going, well, how'd that happen?
yes.
And so just walking around. Yeah, walking meditation is nice too. You can get that out there, get your physical body moving.
I like
So,
to listen to Terry at Holding Your Space, her morning meditations, going out for a walk. Those are great.
mhm, yes, yes. So, and who's just typing that? Yeah, there you go.
Great minds.
Yeah, there you go. So, All right, everyone.
Nice. Short and sweet. This was great.
Yes, and this is wonderful. And I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. Please go down and like and subscribe to both of our channels. There are ways to show your support for the channels there. And if you need your version of if you need your version of TarotStache merchandise, the link is there. I do want to encourage everybody to be participating in the Glimmer Globe. Have some fun with that. Enjoy that. And we will see everyone the next time. Take care. Bye.
Yo.